It's pushing the water, and there's a jogger, actually. Look at this.
I should have stopped this one with your fun. I'm stopping this one now.
Don't, okay, let me finish. I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
Not a mistake.
I'm not a mistake.
It's the what if I can pull off a miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? And just me talking about that, I have the hair going up on my arms. Because it makes me just like, what if I can be that guy that people who call this and that, and now I'm speaking at Tom Ferry's event.
Pressure changes everything, pressure. Some people, you squeeze them, they focus. Others fold. Can you summon your talent at will? Can you deliver on a deadline? Can you sleep at night?
David Goggins, he wrote me, be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Kill the boy, Jon Snow. Kill the boy. And let the man be born.
Out of the 100 men that go into war, 10 shouldn't even be there. 80 of them are just targets. 10 do most of, or 9 do most of the fighting. 1 is a warrior. And it's a true quote to life. I saw it going through training, I saw it everywhere I went. There's so many people who just show up to life that shouldn't even be around. And there's few people who do all the work. I wanted to be part of that 9, and I'm working towards being that 1. Right now in life, your family's looking for that one guy right now. They're looking for that one guy who's strong, who's that pillar for the family in hard times. Make sure they look around. They look around and find you. These are the times right now for you to step up. Be that guy that can take anything.
You see that look right there? Don't ever let a man see you like that. Cause you give him the power over you. If you gotta take an L, you take it with your head up, chest out. Like a man.
Dr. Carter had a tear in his eye. I could tell he felt for me. Then he said, son, I'm sorry to say you're not gonna box again. And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong.
You don't know what
I
kind
ain't
of man
gonna
I
box
am.
again. I said, you don't understand what kind of man I am.
You're a man. You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin. And if you are not a person that you are comfortable being alone with, that is the one person in this universe that you have full power, full right, and full responsibility to change.
If you had to create a human, what would you put them through to make them tough? It probably wouldn't be a really chill life. What would you put them through to make them patient? You probably wouldn't give them things immediately. And so it's like we want these traits, but each of the traits has a price tag attached to it. And it's just like, do you want to pay the price tag to get the thing? And so I think if people reframe the period of life that they're going through as the price that they're paying out of their wallet, but the wallet is their time, it's the seconds of life that they're trading for it, then I think more people will be willing to make the trade. Because at least when I look at myself, like when I'm 80 something years old and I'm looking back at my life, I want to have these traits. But in order to have those traits, I know I have to go through these things. And I think for me, that's given me a lot of comfort in hard times.
Everything counts. Everything that you do counts. The biggest mistake that people make is they think that only what they want to count counts. No. When you read a book, when you listen to an audio program, when you go to a course, when you go to bed early and get up early and you work, it all counts. And it's all going on the plus side of your ledger.
It's the moments in life, the decisions you make on a moment-to-moment basis that add up to be the guy or not the guy. Tonight, I did something, that I feel more of a guy. For me, who I am, my guy.
Partying is weakness for the soul, my friend, so I try and avoid it.
You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're too old.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
So the goal was to be the first one at breakfast. So I set my alarm. I make sure I'm up by sunrise. I get out of bed. I put on my gear and I head downstairs.
Welcome to the Spartan
But when I get
Warriors,
there,
brother. Thank you for the follow.
Kobe's already there.
Pray you're having an amazing evening.
With ice packs on his knees, drenched in sweat. Now, it took me a minute to figure it out, but this guy wasn't only awake before me. He had already worked out. He had just played in the finals days earlier. Meanwhile, I'd been off for months and I was still exhausted. What he had done that morning was incomprehensible to me. That dedication he had only days after falling short of an NBA championship. That taught me something I've never forgotten. Legends aren't defined by their successes. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures. And that's what I hope to communicate to anyone watching this.
I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said, he has dedicated his life to his art, and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar. I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m. They would look at me and say, I've lost my mind, but me, I have found it almost.
I've got a good question for you.
Why not you? You've got the brains, you can make decisions, you can study the plan, you can change your life, you can grow immensely in the next few years, you can make your dreams come true, you can build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through, you can become healthy, you can become powerful. Why not you?
Impossible is nothing to somebody that tries. Everything that someone said was impossible has happened.
Yeah, there's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
Oh, let's do a what if. What if what?
What if you lose?
I don't even feel, I can't, my consciousness don't even elevate that thought.
Therefore, if it happens, you'd be distraught, crazed, what?
It's not my nature to allow that to happen.
Sometimes life can really hijack your mind. When that happens to you, you're all up. Your goals, your ambitions, everything is out the window. In life, we all go through different things. Sometimes your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. Guess what? Get the over it. They no longer want you. Maybe you fail a test in school. You worked your off. Guess what? You failed the test. Get over it. Move past it. Learn to not let life hijack your brain. At work, you've been working your ass off for that new promotion. You don't get it. Someone else does. Maybe they kiss better than you do. Guess what? Get over it. Life will hijack your mind if you let it. Don't allow all these things to make you a lesser person. You must own your mind. Don't let life own yours. Get after it, stay hard.
You better make sure in the next season of your life that the person who walked away from you know what they're missing. You better do something with your life. Did you look at me? You better do something so strong and so big with your life that they have to sit on the couch and say, that's the one that got by. Man, I should have just stayed in there a little bit longer. I should have been a little more patient. I should have prayed a little bit harder. Do something with your life that makes them regret turning you away and turning you over. That means getting better and not bitter.
The thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can You can build your own things that other people can use.
And George Foreman admits that he gave Muhammad Ali everything he had. And Muhammad Ali grabbed him and pulled him to him. Old man hadn't fought in years, hurt. And Muhammad Ali pulled him to him and said, "Is that all you got?" And George Foreman said when he heard the words, "Is that all you got?" it penetrated his spirit. And said, "I done gave my man everything I got. I can't see him to knock him down." And Muhammad Ali said when he said that to him, he looked into the pupils of his eyes, and he said at that point he knew George Foreman had lost.
You know, basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to, everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything.
Air fried.
Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Right now. It's
The
almost
world
gone.
becomes your library to help you improve your craft, better your craft.
Yes, indeed.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for.
You on that winter arc. I'm on that 365. It's not an arc.
Did you train today, bro?
It's a circle.
If so, what'd you train?
It keeps going around and round and round. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Love yourself enough to stay motivated. 365 arc. Do a circle. Stay hard.
You know, there comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre, is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're going to become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, you know, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out. Or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, you know, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and just burns it so much. You can't deal with it one more day. And you get off your and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were gonna fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it until something hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never gonna be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. That can happen at an early age, it can happen at a later age. It's gonna happen to somebody no matter what, it's gonna happen to you. And when it does happen to you, thank your lucky stars that finally you're alive. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. Superior, man. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they're willing to work to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It was about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest
from here, but I'll forget it when I come.
Sometimes you have to go beyond what you're feeling. You know, okay, this hurts, that hurts. We can just sit down and do nothing. Or we can see how far we can push the human body.
The highest level winners do what?
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every single one of them. Think about it. Really nice. Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up. Every single day, your mind is one that tells you, get up. And your feelings like, an extra 30 minutes, just roll this. Don't worry about it.
What's the central part of your training? Is it running? Is it sparring? Or
Central part is dodging the nightclubs and the parties and the girls. You know the truth? And being in the bed by yourself at 9 o'clock at night. And if you can get by that, you'll make it. No, that's the truth. I tell you the truth.
Man, if I want to be good, I gotta wake up in the morning and I gotta do the extra work. And I gotta show up when other guys aren't. And I've gotta learn. I've gotta continue to be open to learning.
The message I try to deliver to people is play to win. Don't play to avoid loss. Because the things you fear, the things that's gonna happen to you. Set that target on something positive. Work for it, expect it.
Get serious. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
Is there any limit to your ambition?
Oh no, I'm not a honest person, just the basic.
Or any limit to what you think you can achieve?
Oh, nice.
No, because I think right now, if I was to quit rapping and I said I want to go to the NBA, I would be in the NBA.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Why would you think you could make it to the NBA?
Because I think I could do anything.
Let me leave you with some words from Muhammad Ali. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in a world that they've been given than to explore the power they have to change it. Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it's a dare.
2 forms of pain. Pain that breaks you and the pain that changes you. That's the pain of a change right there. That's the pain of progress. The pain that destroys you isn't this. It's later in life knowing you could have been more. And all that's left is you and the mirror and tears of a possibility left that you allowed to die. Own your life, guys. You get every opportunity. There's no excuse not to be the hardest worker in the room. In all your endeavors, schoolwork, the gym, your career, your relationship, your name's attached to it. It's gotta mean more than anything.
Yeah, I go to sleep, I wake up, I work, go to sleep, wake up, work, do that 7 days a week.
Yeah, I don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back. I gotta get my head back in the game. I gotta figure this out. It doesn't mean you leave. It means you study it more. It means you study it more. And whenever I fail at something, people always say, man, how do you handle failure, man? But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt. I look at them as attempts. I don't look at anything as failure. Not trying is failure.
I will never quit, because if you quit, you're done. You may still be alive, walking around on this earth. You're done. I will never quit. I will persevere and I will thrive on adversity. My team expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than our opponents. I hold myself to that standard.
People don't see that, and people will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted 202, you know, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. You know, but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, you know. So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
The unfulfilled potential is the story of most people's lives.
It is. It is. And it could have been the story of mine. And I tell a lot of people go, what's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be.
I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, you know, I'd have something that was beautiful. But that was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but you know, if you live your life to just get better every single day, and do that for 20 years, I mean, what do you have?
My personal goal is to squeeze every ounce of potential out of whatever I have. And I think that if you feel like you have potential left over, then it will eat you alive until you do something about it. Almost every successful person that I have ever encountered has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds interesting, that most people want to do during that entire season of their life. And they basically sacrifice a season of other things that they would prefer to do stuff that they would not prefer to do because of the one thing they want most.
Why? We all ask why we should work this hard. Why take that many classes? Why go to school that many years? You know, why take the notes? Why read the books? Why work that hard? Why put yourself through the push-ups and the disciplines? Why? Good question, why? Best answer to why, I think, is the second question. Why not? Why not see how many books you can read, how many classes you can take, how many skills you can develop? Why not see how valuable you can become to the marketplace and to your friends and to your family? Why not see what you can make of yourself? Why not see how far you can go, how much you can see, how much you can earn, how much you can share? Why not? That's the heritage all of us have, in America especially, is to see what we can make out of our lives now that we've been given this extraordinary opportunity.
Just be the best version of yourself in anything that you do. You don't have to live anybody else's story. Sometimes people make it seem like you have to have certain prerequisites or a crazy life story in order to be successful in this world. But the truth is, you really don't. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have, what you lack, what you have too much of, but all you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do, or what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful and whatever you put your mind to. Make sure you live in the moment and work your every single day.
Everybody's asleep, man, or they're just getting home after a long night. You know, going out there partying. It's Friday night. It's close to 3 in the morning right now. You know, the thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day that, I mean, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life. You know, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open.
Live your life like there's a documentary crew following you around and you are analyzing your own behavior. Do what you would want to do so that your kids one day would look back at it and see that documentary and look on it with pride, like, wow, my dad was a bad man. He really did what he had to do. I love a success story, but even more than a success story, I like a dude who f***ed his life up and then gets it back together again story.
Whoever's listening to this, if you wrote a book right now about your life, and you gave to someone, would it change their life for the better? If not, you gotta get to work.
If you go visit the darkness that you've been running from, you'll have the opportunity to leave a better person. You'll have a better understanding of yourself. You'll have a better understanding of your purpose. But if you don't take that trip and the darkness comes visit you, it's a guest that will never leave.
Bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the bad days, the story would be way more lame. There would be no glory in overcoming anything, because what did you overcome?
It happens like this. You work, nothing happens. You work, you work, you work, you watch some people fall off, nothing happens. It's hard, difficult, and lonely. You work, you work, you work, still nothing happens. And then for the people that persist and last the test of time, that overcome the adversity, that continue to do the personal development work and continue to put pressure and march forward under any and all circumstances, it happens like this. It's hockey stick growth. You just take off.
I'm not good enough, smart enough. I'm not talented enough. Some people are. Some people can start at 1. Some people don't have to start at all. If you lack talent,
I'm gonna go rinse
you
my
can't
mouth
sit
guard
back
off.
and say, I'll start in half an hour. I can't do that.
It desperately
I gotta
needs
start now.
cleaning.
And after I get back from starting, I gotta start again. And when I get done with that run or that study session, if it wasn't good enough, I gotta go back again. So you can honestly outwork anything.
Alexa.
I never looked at things as problems. I look at them as opportunities. Maybe that's something I can say. You know, someone, well, she did this, and well, what an opportunity you have. Yeah, well, the world, you know, because they said this, and Shannon said that. Yeah, well, what an opportunity you have to make a difference.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do. The world is your oyster. Only thing promised is death. So basically, life is like a game. So you have to play the game the way you want to play it.
Rest at the end, not in the middle. And that's something I always live by. You know, I'm not going to rest. I'm going to keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just going to keep going.
The mindset of a winner, which is a winner does more than expected every single time, no matter how they feel, no matter the circumstances. A winner shows up 10x times more than the average person. A winner has these unreasonable expectations of himself. A winner knows that he's destined for greatness. And no matter how many people around him tell him to slow down, be careful, watch out, that's too risky, you don't have the genetics, the DNA, the money, the mind, the brain power for that. A winner locks onto their goals and keeps going.
This is yours. You're the captain, you're the master, you're the foreman, you're the general, you're the head. Don't give control of this to nobody.
I dare you to stop f***ing around and dedicate the next 6 months of your life exclusively to your goals and your goals only. Don't announce it to anyone. Don't tell people on Instagram about it. Don't tell anybody. Just disappear, do the work, and reemerge in 6 months a different person.
It's 1 a.m. I'm going for my 3rd workout. Do I want to go to the gym? Absolutely not. I'd rather, you know, lay in my house and sit in the movie theater and watch movies. But, you know, to be the best, you got to work overtime. To be the best, you got to work overtime.
The winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. Big mental thing there, guys. This body, as great as you are, as sharp as you make the arsenal, it can't do anything if you don't have confidence in yourself. We all fall down in life. The question is, who gets back up? You go after and you give it all you have. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena. When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear. The reason why? Behind every fear is a person you want to be. Fear is self-imposed, meaning it doesn't exist. You create it, you can destroy it too. It's an intangible. If you face your fears, guys, you will realize it's not that big. And once you face it, you go, oh my God, man, I spent all this time running from it. It was so small. If I just faced it, my God, not only did I face it, I beat it back, energy is never lost, transfer. That negative energy, that fear, is destroyed. It comes back in as confidence. You're like, what else am I capable of? What else am I holding my back from that I'm capable of more? What am I running from I don't need to? What else can I overcome? You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive, but you're not taking into the freedom. You're not running the day. The day's running you. You always be the servant, not the master, guys.
There's no perfect way to live your 20s. You either live them up and become an underskilled 30-year-old, or you work them up and become an underlived 30-year-old. You just have to figure out which you'd rather be, accept the trade-offs, and know that there are no do-overs.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard. Those times when you stay up late and you work hard. Those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
All this pain right now, all worthwhile. The thing about pain is, like, you feel it right now, it's temporary, man. But later in life, you don't remember the pain. You just remember, like, the glory and the good time. 'Cause I was going to West Point, you know, in Ranger School. Man, there was some really dark hours, dark days, dark years in my life, man. But looking back on it, I mean, I just remember the good people and the good times. I don't remember all those, you know, times where I was just so done and worn out. I don't remember that. I just remember that I made it through it. You know, and that exhilaration of pride and achievement, man, that outweighs all the pain and struggle, you know, that sweat equity to get there. It really does, as long as you get there. That's why they say pain is temporary, pride's forever. That's what they're talking about. Because if you push through the pain to achieve the pride, you forget about the pain was ever even there. But if you can't push through the pain and the pain stops you and breaks you down, well, then that pain is forever. Because you never got pride to outbalance it. Going through this, man, you start feeling the pain. It's all good, man. Welcome it. Welcome it, man. Because right past pain, it's forever pride, man.
I am back. Back from under the ground.
I was born in Jamaica with nothing. I live in a wooden shed, zinc roof. Don't doubt to me, so I couldn't do it. The horse said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Look at me. Personal.
Surprise, surprise, motherfucker! The king is back!
I've been listening to them laugh my whole career. They've been laughing. What? An Irishman win a fight in the UFC? Hell no. Laughs all around. The sound of laughter and the sound of doubt motivates me.
You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. You know, I had to listen to all this. And that put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every day.
Maybe someone's don't like me, but because maybe I'm too good. I don't know why.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
The diagnosis, 2 fractured cervical vertebrae and partial paralysis of the left side of the torso.
Dr. Carter had a tear in his eye. I could tell he felt for me. And he said, son, I'm sorry to say you're not going to box again. And I looked at him. I said, no, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am going to box again. He said, you don't understand what kind of man I am.
I'll either box again or die trying. After 13 months, he was back, and he won 3 titles.
The winner, and now the IBC Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Vinny Pazienza!
But I want you to take it personal. And my personal question to you is, why not you? You've got the brains, You can make decisions. You can study the plan. You can change your life. Why not you?
You give them this message that it's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary.
I see all this potential, and I see it squandering. God damn it, an entire generation pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no Great War, no Great Depression. Our Great War is a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives.
Tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand.
Welcome, Gurpad.
But you have to raise warriors.
Just because it feels uncomfortable doesn't mean it's not good. Even if it feels uncomfortable, that can sometimes be right. In life, we so want to feel comfortable, but that doesn't always bring the best results.
A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. A real man, when coach ain't even watching, he's studying film on his own, because he loves the process.
I saw him at the race where he broke all the bones in his feet. I was running this race. It was a 24-hour race as a relay team. I was with 4 friends. And the format of the race is, you run a mile, I run a mile. Whatever team runs the most amount of miles wins the race. He had no teammates.
God, I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do what I'm gonna do. So this is how you level up. That's how you level up. With that right there, that fires me up. That makes me happy what you just said.
How you all get so scared? You been reading all the stuff you've been reading about how hard he gets.
I'll never forget as long as I live. My father was actually crying because he was scared to death that Muhammad Ali was going to get killed. Not knocked out, killed. That's how vicious and violent George Foreman was.
He was trying to win a boxing match. I was trying to kill that guy. It was really strange. I thought I'd knock him out in 1 or 2 rounds, but about the 3rd round, I hit him, and he fell on me. I thought, that's it. And he started screaming, "That's all you got, George. Show me something." And I knew then I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Muhammad Ali, he knocked out George Foreman. I shook up the world. I shook up the world. Muhammad Ali has done it. The great man has done it.
That's right. That's right. I'm winning anyway. I'm winning. I'm winning any motherfucking way. I can't lose.
And you know you won't give in, and if you test yourself and you fail, but you know you're gonna get back up again, if you know that, then you know that your character is strong, and that's what matters. And that right there is all the confidence you need.
And I get up there and had a cameraman up there. I asked the cameraman up there, I'm like, hey, I said, how did Goggins look? And he's like, well, he had his shirt off. And he was saying, they don't know me. He's like, they don't know me, son.
They don't know me, son.
Saying all this stuff. I said, who was he saying that to? And he's like, there's nobody up here.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
Kobe was something else. He was the guy, like I say, when we're in the club, that motherfucker's in the gym.
I'd rather go too far than not far enough. The only reward that you get from taking it easy is the fact that in the moment, it's easier. But if you want results, and then you basically just catch yourself slacking off and don't do anything about it, then it kind of sounds like you don't really want those results,
I looked in this one guy's eyes who was ringing the bell to quit, to put his helmet down out of Navy SEAL training, and I saw it myself.
and I saw what everybody said I was gonna be, which was nothing. This is when I realized I was alone on this earth. I have God, but on this earth, I have to fix everything. I was sick and tired of not facing the fact that I've allowed life to make me feel like a loser. That voice became haunting.
The only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you, and then you'll forget they exist.
Success is the only revenge.
It's not the best revenge, it's the only one. There's no other revenge.
If you will be a champion, if you will be a beast, you're gonna have to go through something. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no championship. Ain't nobody gonna hand you no title.
Listen to everything to the extreme. Work until your eyes burn. Sketch until your hands shake. Train until you collapse. Write until the words blur. Practice until fingers bleed and build.
Push the limits of your own mind daily, because the edge between insanity and greatness is where legends are born.
Nobody understands you, because how could they? If you spend your whole life trying to be like nobody else, work harder than the average person, care more than anybody else would, what makes you think they'll understand? What you're looking for is rare.
Ignore and outperform them. You see, while you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. And you will lose and I will win.
My mom kicked me out of my house, to tell the truth. It was hard. I had to grow up at a young age, and I had to be able to not really take care of myself. I had help, but I was on my own for the most part.
I wanted to be the guy that people looked at. I don't care if you like me or didn't like. I don't care. But said this mother is gonna keep coming after whatever the is in front of him. I wanted that. I wanted that. I wanted that worse than anything in the world. I kept picturing me falling down and getting up, and every mother called me. I was done. I wanted to feel something besides defeat. I wanted to just go the distance.
The way you guys say reinvent myself, it's just that I want to be up more than anybody on the planet want me to be down. And that's just what it's all about. Wanting to get the best out of yourself. Not competing with anyone else but you. And that's how we improve as a person, improving ourselves.
I'm asking you to make a list of what you want. What kind of health do you want? What kind of skills do you want?
3 moral rules I'll never break are live your life with character, honor, and discipline. And if you live that way, I guarantee you, your goals and dreams will get accomplished.
Stay focused. Don't listen to nobody. Don't listen to nobody. Only what's on your mind, just do it. It's what's destined for you, you're gonna get it.
Change happens when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of making a change. And in your situation now, it sounds like, well, this is less painful.
100%. I think that's the basis of most change. Like, if you are angry, use it. If you are sad, use it. Because, like, what else are you gonna do with it?
If nobody is there to pick you up, show yourself that you're there. When nobody understands you, give yourself even just a second of recognition that you understand your own mind. You may feel like nobody is there, but I promise you have yourself, and that is a lot. I'll never be a hero. I'm just an ordinary guy, and I've reached my damn limits.
Your limit? Who decides what your limit is? Instead of overthinking your setbacks, just focus on moving forward.
Is there any better feeling than being locked in?
No.
Like when you are locked in, and you are, you're taking, and you're in a rhythm, and every day you're knocking it down, you never miss a step. Like you go to bed feeling great, you wake up feeling inspired, you go in the gym with energy, right?
The time and the commitment that you give to yourself, to your body, into your craft, into your mind, those things will take care of yourself. And if it's meant for you to have, then it's meant for you to have. And if it's not, if you've done all those things leading up to it and it still didn't happen, you sleep better at night. You're okay with yourself because you gave your body, your mind, your soul, everything that you could ever ask for.
So today, don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Don't wish for it. Go for it. Dive, move, Start acting. Trust me, it's the only way to get there.
You put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna make it and still be able to make it. Because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this. And that's what it took for me to get here.
As you expand, they shrink into irrelevance. As you get louder, no one can hear them. You don't beat them, you cast a shadow so big, no one can see them to begin with. When people copy, they copy the wrong stuff because they don't know why it worked to begin with. And when it breaks, they don't know how to fix it because they didn't build it. So don't sweat it. Copycats will always be behind.
I want you to think about this. This vision sounds very big, and it is. None of this is easy, all of it is hard. But I want to inspire you, and so think about this. Big things start small. Thank you.
Patience. Patience is a skill we must master. Patience is one of the most valuable skills a human being must master. And I'm working hard to master it, and I feel I'm getting there, so time will show all of them. That's it. Right now, I'm focused on the bout. Focused positivity, good thoughts, and I'll say a prayer for those who try and curse me or try and bring harm to me with these type of things, and that's it.
Was fear of failure a motivator?
I never feared about my skills, because I put in the work. Work ethic eliminates fear.
Yes.
So if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
If I could instill one piece of advice into all human beings, it would simply be to believe in yourself beyond, without a doubt. Believe in yourself, and don't rely on anybody to believe in you. Don't rely on anybody to push you or make you better. Believe in yourself and only yourself, and allow that human being to make you a better person.
I think you know what you're supposed to do. Deep down inside, I think everybody does. A lot of people just don't go after it. Like most people start out, they say, I want to be a this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. Yeah. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're going, there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. And when you put that out there, then you fall back. But if you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you want it, man.
It's really up to you, the life you want to have. If you want a good life, then make good choices. You wake up in the morning with discipline, saying, hey, I got to do the right thing. I got to work. What am I going to make? What's my choice going to be today? Do I make my life worthwhile?
366.
Mess it up. We choose our joys and sorrows way before they happen. Keep it simple.
More up,
bad things are going to come back to haunt you. You do good things are going to come back to reward you.
The last 6,000 years reads like this: opportunity mixed with difficulty. That's how it reads. It isn't going to change. The man says, well, if it isn't going to change, how will my life ever change? Answer, when you change. And whether I'm talking to high school kids or business executives, my message is always the same. And it goes like this: the only way it gets better for you is when you get better.
The world belongs to optimists, because if you're going to do anything big, you have to believe that it can happen. Otherwise, it never will. Sean Puri says the cynics get to be right and the optimists get to be rich. 99% right and 100% wrong. They're right 99% of the time, but they're wrong 100%, because the only thing that matters is the big one at the end. My first 9 businesses didn't really amount to anything. 9, as in the first one, spent time on it, it failed. Second one, this one will be different. Spent time on it, failed. And then the third one, this one, failed. And then 6 more after that. And it's painful as because the whole time everyone is telling you, I told you so. And they're right. Today, but not forever.
In order to do it, you gotta get through the obstacles of the things that you don't love.
in life.
Yes,
as
right.
you're trying to come out.
Yeah, getting over those hurdles, and then eventually get you to the thing where you're like, okay, now I'm ready to pursue said thing that I want to do. Even if you hate your job, you're supposed to be using that job for something to get to something.
We are what we repeatedly do every day. Therefore, excellence that we're striving for every single day. We wake up early, striving for it, pushing for it, giving it all in a workout every single day, striving for excellence. We are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an accident, but a habit. You are what you repeatedly do every day. So whatever you're doing is what you become. If excellence is something you're striving for, then it's not an accident, it's a habit.
But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, if you want to begin to really enjoy a happy, successful, healthy life, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here. I'm not going to let this get me down. I'm not going to let this destroy me. I'm coming back, and I'll be stronger and better because of it.
How can you beat someone who cannot quit? How can you beat someone who every time they go through a hard time, they get better and they get stronger?
366 for 10.
Demoralized. How can you beat someone
Easy
who
weight.
looks back on all the tests that they've had and said, yeah, that wasn't dude. Bring it on. Okay? As opposed to the person who's like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And then a few months, another thing happens. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. It's gonna be the person who has a stoic mentality, who looks at it and says this, okay, all right, we'll get through it. And then the next thing
I love it
happens.
when they describe
Well,
me.
Won't do that again. We'll get through it.
And then you know even more. I'm right on track.
Oh, scoring champion can't win an NBA title. Well, you know, you're not as good as Magic Johnson. You're not as good as Larry Bird. You're good, but you're not as good as those guys.
Oh my God,
I had to
those are
listen to all this, and that put so
You're the
much wood
depth
on
on
that
those.
fire that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player. Now, I'm not saying they were wrong. I may have looked at them from a different perspective, you know, but at the same time, as a basketball player, I'm trying to become the best that I can. You look for any kind of messages that people may say or do to get you motivated to play the game of basketball at the highest level, because that is when I feel like I excel at my best. I'd do anything to win.
You give them this message that it's okay to be a man.
It's not okay. It's necessary. What the hell are we going to do without men? You look around the city here, you see all these buildings go up. These men, they're doing impossible things. They're under the streets, working on the sewers. They're up on the power lines in the storms and the rain. They're keeping this impossible infrastructure functioning. This thing that works in a miraculous manner. They work themselves to death.
We all live in our own world of limitations. Some people can see farther than others. So therefore, when people judge what I'm doing with their logic, it can't be done. Their reason says it can't or shouldn't be done. Their knowledge of history says it can't be done. So their reason, their knowledge, and their logic clashes with my superior belief. Therefore, the result is they don't believe.
My superior beliefs.
Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Grainger's here for you with professional-grade supplies. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
And my thinking is so superior, and my knowledge is so positive, and my logic is so wise, until it clashes with their mentality, which is down here, and I'm up there. So by me being so high, I can see more and see farther than you. And you're looking up at me saying, Ali, don't do it. Ali, please stop, like it hurts. But I'm at such a high level until I don't think like you. I'm not like you.
But you know why they say that. I mean, it's for the best possible reasons.
They're fear and they're wary.
I'm a fucking champion.
That's right. It's not really that dangerous to me.
Hard work pays, you know what I mean? I'm no different than I was before. I just was committed and worked hard and earned it. And that's it. We're all equal, I feel, you know. It's the work you're willing to put in and the commitment you're willing to put in. I was committed this campaign. I'm happy and proud to represent my team and our work.
But next day, I'm very capable and I learned that, listen, Cristiano, let's go. Life continue. Past is past, it's never come again. the present, it's the best gift that we have in our life.
Show you how
the
it's
present.
done, chat.
Because you don't know that what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know. I don't know. You don't know. So live the present. Go back to the gym, work, because you have more to show. You understand? Life continue. You cannot live in the past. I'm really good on that. You understand? I learned by the years that pain you're gonna have all the time, uncertainty, and constant work. Constant work. Constant work. Doesn't matter what's gonna happen in your life. You have to continue. This is the way I see the life.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Do you get a promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, you work towards a goal. It's not a failure, it's steps to success. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure? That's what you're telling me. It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you're not. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, you know, and hopefully we can win a championship.
If you're focused on the past, you're controlled by fear. If you're focused on the future, you're controlled by anxiety. If you focus on others, you're controlled by them. See, whatever you focus on owns you. If you focus on yourself, you're at peace.
So I had this conversation with this guy the other day. He was making a lot of good points, it seems. He was saying that you don't need to get up early in the morning, and that working out early in the morning isn't that big of a deal, and it's better to do it later in the day. And you know, I said, well, what if something comes up and I miss the workout that day? And he's like, told me that it's not that. It's nothing major. You don't need to worry about it. And he cited some scientific sources and whatnot. The guy was making a lot of good points. And I was almost going to listen to him, but then I realized the guy that I was talking with was myself. And he was a liar. Don't let your weak voice run things. Step up, do what you got to do. Go get some out.
The way you can change is you have to put aside enough money to give yourself a window. And you have to spend all your waking hours outside of whatever job you do planning your escape. And you have to come to the realization very clearly that you've up and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. God damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You got to have discipline. That's most people don't have those things. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
Undisciplined people do dumb things. Disciplined people do smart things. Which are you? This is really, everything that we talk about is going to come down to how do you have the discipline to execute and do the things that you need to do your part. And one thing that everybody has to overcome to be able to do this is, am I going to do what I feel like doing? Or am I going to choose to do the things I need to do to accomplish the goal and the vision that I have? This is a huge hurdle for everybody. Because how many times have you heard somebody say, I don't feel like doing that? It doesn't matter what you feel like. You got to make choices and decisions based on what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. You got to be committed to it, and it's got to be important to you to be able to do that.
When Kobe Bryant passed away, his wife, Vanessa, was giving a speech, and she said that he was always playing through injuries, and everyone knew that, but no one really knew the reason. And she asked him in a private conversation, I believe, one night, like, why do you do it? And he said it's because someone has saved up to watch me play.
Yeah.
And they might only ever be able to afford one time to watch me play.
Sure.
And I don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
And that's how he played through injury. It wasn't that he wanted the championship more or that he wanted the ring more. It was that I want to be there for my fans who are showing up for me.
I'm the one. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it. The people that are running after their dreams are the people that are hungry. And as you run towards your dream, I want to dedicate this to you that I love very much, that if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time,
They
your
recommended
peace, and your sleep
surgery.
for it. If all the
They told me to think realistically. Turn back, get a real job. And they'll say the same to you. To try to convince you to give up on your dreams. Convince you that you have some spinal problem. It runs in the family, does it? 456 pounds.
If dogged and grim, you besiege and beset it with the help of God you'll get.
I got God on my side.
You see this guy, shoot the ball from almost half court, trumping on the side of his thing, and he doesn't even look. He turns around and just waves because he knows it's in already. And it goes crazy. And people look at that and go, he's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He's the greatest three-point shooter in history. There's no one like him. But what they don't pay attention to is that isn't like a little gift, right? He shoots 500 shots every single day, never less than that, 7 days a week, for more than 15 years. His 15-year professional career, he's been doing it since before he was in college. His dad really trained him. So 3,500 shots a week, 168,000 shots in a year, 2 million shots in his 15-year NBA career, so he could make 36 shots.
Mud trap too.
1/10 of 1%. I tell people, you get rewarded in public.
There's no shame to admit that you're afraid, because there's no courage without fear. And when I made peace with that, it changes everything in my life. Fear. Whether you're a fighter, an entrepreneur, or whatever, it's with the preparation. The more well you prepare, the more you will build up your confidence. And if you have confidence, remember,
sometimes you gotta remind the fucking world who you are.
It's knowing that you have what you need in order to succeed. Confidence, whatever you do, it's the most important thing. One of the most important things. You need the skills, the preparation, and the confidence. Because if you don't have confidence, it's a little bit like, it's like someone who has a lot of money in his bank account, but no way of accessing it. Right. You can never reach your full potential. And the way you build confidence is through preparation. So I embrace fear. I know it's a normal thing. And if my opponents are, you're afraid of me? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm afraid of you. But no matter what, I'm gonna freaking walk the walk on Saturday night, and there's nothing you can do.
When I move forward, no is not an option.
Hi, Pop.
I keep marching. As a young kid, not having the ability to speak and express myself, but having a lot to say. So I was proud of myself. I was too small. I couldn't play the game the way they wanted me to play the game.
It doesn't. My spine feels fucking orgasmic. It feels lubricated with the finest, luxurious lubricant from Trojan. You should feel it right now. I feel like I could fucking lift a mountain. I feel like Atlas holding up the fucking galaxy, the whole universe. Jesus Christ. This one's getting sent to everybody. Oh my God, yes. Bang. People in my family tried to convince me that I have some kind of spine problem. Does it look like I got a fucking spine problem? I had a fucking cocaine problem, chat. And I've been very open about it. There's just other human beings that cannot ever take accountability. So they try to scare you away from your fucking dreams. Do not listen! Never!
Put me on a level playing field, and I'll show you. Winning look good. Legacies
And I know you feel that.
Legacies are built to last. But what type of legacy are you building? What protects your legacy? Life is precious. Have fun. Enjoy. Let's uplift our kids. Be strong. Be motivated. Stand tall. This is what my mama taught me. Stand tall. Stick your chest out. Hold your head up.
My mama told me that
that last
I shouldn't move out until I have $200,000 now. What kind of woman says that to her son? I'm gonna call her out. That's fucked up.
This is your opportunity of a lifetime.
It is fucked up.
Take the 5%.
200,000? I'll go fucking buy a 20K little cabin in the woods and be happier. I've never got the support I deserve. I don't need pats on the back. I don't need it, but I don't need the fucking fear-mongering implementation. Fuck you. Fuck all of you.
And you could have been that guy.
Why am I so nice? Why am I doing favors for people that would never do favors for me? I'm doing multiple favors for people this week. That if I asked, they wouldn't fucking be there. I need to just say no. I need to grow a cold heart and say fuck you.
In one way or another. Now,
that's what I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm fucking done. I'm done being Mr. fucking nice guy. They'll walk on you!
Absolutely, 100% pay in full for everything that you've done and for everything that you haven't done. I mean, how could it be otherwise?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what are you gonna do? Reality isn't gonna make itself manifest because of your whim? That's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, and you know, you can think about that religiously or not. There's no escaping from what is.
Right.
And a lot of times, someone would go through traumatic experience and they'd have bad feelings about it. They'd have regrets about it. They'd have things that they wish they would have done differently. You did some things that you regret. There's nothing wrong with that. People make mistakes. Things don't turn out the way that they wanted them to. We made decisions and there was a bad result at the end of that decision. And instead of thinking, oh, I'm a terrible person, no, it's like you made a mistake and that's okay and you gotta move on.
Should I go up, chat? That's the question. I don't think I need to today. I could, but I think it'd be better to drop and rep. Up.
I failed. Why do we force? So that we can learn to pick ourselves up.
What will you do?
Rebuild it.
Brick
Just the way it was.
by brick.
If you play it safe, you're gonna exist.
I'll start by unscrewing this bolt right here and that bolt right there.
People
my
either
wrenches
survive in the jungle or exist in the zoo. Few recognize the significance.
You can't be the man if you don't jump. You can't be top dog unless you fight the other dog. Ain't nobody finna give you the championship. You don't win the title without coming to the fight. You don't win the fight without training. The jump is necessary. Why would you not jump? Why would you not take a chance?
And that's scary. And it's scary. You gotta be willing to face it.
Yeah, it's scary. And that's why most people won't jump.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life. And that I can't do.
Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them.
What happens if they don't?
Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back.
You need to put yourself in uncomfortable situations, in uncomfortable scenarios, okay? If you do easy things, you will have a hard life. If you do hard things, you will have an easy life. Let me say it again. If you do easy things, you will have a hard life. If you do hard things, you will have an easy life. As a man, you have to understand that we as men, we do better in environments where we are uncomfortable, okay? You put pressure on a rock, it turns into a diamond. You being in uncomfortable situations will bring the best out of you.
Yeah, I like it, man. What I like about it is I'm doing something I don't want to do. Every time I start doing things I don't want to do, I grow.
Yes. That's a lesson that people need to hear and learn.
You gotta go for it, guys. You gotta say, you know what? This comfort zone I'm in is a danger zone. It's a danger zone because what is it doing? It's stopping you from your true potential. It's comfortable. I don't want to step out here because I don't know that area. Well, that area is gonna give you gotta risk it, right? And the reward is huge. You guys gotta risk it, man. Don't let anyone say you can't do something. Don't let your mind say, oh, I can't do it anymore, to your body. You can. You just gotta push past it. We listen to society and what the normality, the average people are saying, oh, that's too much, that's too much. Too much for them, man, not too much for you. So go for it, man. At the end of my life, my tombstone, one thing I'll have on it, no regrets. And that's a good life, man. You ain't got one life, why not go for it, right?
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living.
It wouldn't kill you to try. You know, spending a long time getting a life you would actually want is about 1,000,000 times better than getting a quick turnaround time on a life that you'll forever be disappointed with. You know, playing it safe seems just fine until you get to the last moments of your life and realize all the potential that you threw away and can never get back. And I will never know from experience what that feels like, but the thought of that realization is haunting.
Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith. I'll tell you one thing. If you want to be great, you want to be baddest ever at what you do, you're going to be misunderstood by everybody because you're going to be so obsessed and so driven to get there. That's what it takes.
That's the truth.
It takes every second of your life. Anybody says balance? Yeah, balance is important for a lot of people. It is. But if you want to go to that edge where people do not like you, don't understand you, question everything you do, you've arrived. When you are misunderstood to the point where why are you in the gym at 1 o'clock in the morning? What's wrong? You will never understand what is wrong with me. And that's why I'm so glad you don't. Because I'm in the right spot. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot of obsession and drive. Where people are like, what the is wrong with this guy? I don't want to talk to you, man, because you're not going to get it.
Nobody knows but you. You can't get advice on what you should do with your life, right? Nobody knows what you are. Like even sometimes you don't really even know what you are. You got to take your shot. And it's like, as much as you want people to agree and you want the people around you to be supporting your dreams and all, it's not going to be like that all the time. You got to do it alone. And people will help you, and when you get the ball rolling, people will jump on. But if you don't believe, nobody else is going to believe. People come along because your belief is so insane, that your belief is so strong, that makes people be like, yo, this crazy.
The biggest risk to your future isn't your competition. It's the distractions you insist on keeping in your life, rather than doing the things you know you should be doing but aren't. People delay doing things they don't like for longer than it takes to do them.
Repeat after me, please. Make your move before you're ready.
And my caution was always the risk. Risk used to drive me right up the wall. I used to say, what if this happens? It's called the language of the poor. What if this happens? And on top of that, if this was to happen, look at the fix I'd be in. I better not try. Then I'll tell you what changed my whole life when I finally discovered it's all risky. The minute you were born, it got risky. If you think trying is risky, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying. If you think investing is risky, wait till you get the tab for not investing. See, it's all risky. Getting married is risky. Having children is risky. Going into business is risky. Investing your money is risky. It's all risky. I'll tell you how risky life is. You're not going to get out alive.
You want to begin to take some chances. You want to begin to challenge yourself and make it okay to
Come on, Trav,
learn
up.
from your failures. Don't allow fear of failure
and the allure, the attractiveness.
Come on up, big dog.
To draw you in. You can't get out of life alive. You got to die to leave here.
You got to become a risk taker. Write that down.
Most people won't do that. See, most people.
Come on, big dog.
Life living, low risk living. This God said, if you're not willing to risk, you cannot grow. And if you cannot grow, you cannot become your best.
Success isn't a straight line. It's a maze. And when you think you figure that maze out, you hit a wall. And you got to turn around and start again.
If you don't fail, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. My wife told me this great expression. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did.
I love you,
There's
Bob.
a million excuses I could make to rationalize not getting up early, doing the ice bath, and going for a run. But there comes a time when all these potential excuses turn into fuel that motivates you to keep going.
My biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So let's just play a game. Let's say you're God. And we have a big, long line of people. And I made the heaven. 75 300 pounds. I made the heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I'm dead. And you are you're judging us all now. So we're in line, we're all sitting there. Adam Brown, he has a big board up, and you're talking to Adam Brown about his life.
Come on, Pop!
David Goggins. I see my name, I see all this shit. Goggins, you say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm saying, 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker.
Fucking talking about me.
Okay, man, pull up record, all this. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and said, that's who you were supposed to be.
And here's an important statement to remember. It's not what you get that makes you happy. It's what you become. So part of the key here is to set the kind of goal that will make something of it. Don't set them too low, so that you don't have to grow, you don't have to read, and you don't have to try, and you don't have to stretch. Don't set them too low. And then don't sell out. Don't go for something that's going to cost you your virtue or cost you your values or sell out your principles. There's a good middle road here to follow. Goals that inspire, goals that help you grow, change, develop, and become better than you were. Okay.
Okay, y'all ready for a lecture? Talk about the importance of nothing. You get up every day, you're entitled to nothing. Nobody owes you.
I am one of the greatest to ever exist.
You don't have discipline, and you don't execute, you don't focus.
And I mean it.
Nothing. If you're complacent and not paying attention to detail, what does that get you? Nothing. So nothing is acceptable like your best. Everything is determined by what you do and you trying to be your best so that you can build on positive performance so that, and that's the only thing, there should be nothing else.
Develop a sense of urgency. A sense of urgency is a quality that is possessed by only 2% of the population. 2% of the population do things fast. 2% of the population have a bias for action. So develop a sense of urgency. Get the reputation as the person who does things fast. Develop a reputation for speed and dependability, and your future will just open up in front of you. And if you'll develop that habit of working fast, that sense of urgency, act now, do it now, do it now, do it now. If you develop that reputation for speed, it will be worth a fortune to you. Takes a little while, but it's a habit. Most people just sort of shuffle through life. You know, they get to it when they feel like it. But all the excellent people, all the high performers have a sense of urgency. And finally, complete each job that you start. Get on with the job and stay with it till it's 100% finished.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. Most of you don't want success as much as you want to sleep. Some of you love sleep more than you love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You gotta be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you will have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because if you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. That's how bad you gotta want it.
What if it's a mistake? It's a mistake. Rest assured. What do you know? You're gonna stumble around, right? And what's gonna happen is this. You're gonna move, you're gonna not stay in stasis. You're not gonna wander around in circles. And I see people like that. They said, well, I never knew what to do and now I'm 40. It's like, that's not so good. That's not so good. And you might say, well, and there is literature too that suggests that people are a lot more unhappy when they look back in their lives about the things they didn't do than they are about the mistakes they made while they were doing things.
I always ask myself, even I would always ask myself, is your purpose. What's your purpose for living? Do you know your purpose? What you're created to do? Do you know what that is? A lot of people live their entire lives not knowing, entire lifetime not being happy because they feel as though they're not fulfilling their purpose.
If you stay in control of yourself, that's the key to everything in this world. If you listen to anything else on the outside and you start to adapt to other things, you're never gonna live the way you wanna live. And to be a fighter, you have to be in control of yourself all the time. I always say the best fighters are the best actors. The ones that can trick yourself, fake it till you make it, till you get to the championship. And you have to live that way. You have to obsess never being broken. And even if you break, accept it and then on to the next.
And that's what's painful, is that it takes more effort to start in the beginning, and more people are right about the fact, they're like, hey, you're not gonna hit it big. And guess what, a month in, you're not. But they're only measuring on months. And at 6 months, you're also not gonna have hit it big yet. And they're gonna be like, I'm still right. And at a year, you're still not gonna have hit it big. And they'll still be right. And every day that you haven't hit it, they're gonna feel like they were right. But they're wrong.
They're wrong.
Because they're measuring in days and you're measuring in decades.
So many of us come from these small places in our mind that we're not willing to think outside of only what we've seen. Our mind works in such a small compartment. And one thing I was able to do was to dream. Many people, but don't make dreams your master. Until you're able to really put yourself into that dream, but don't make dreams your master, that's where you truly become what you're destined to become.
What do you mean, don't make dreams your master?
A lot of people sit back and they dream, they don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their master.
Without pain, without sacrifice, we would have nothing.
The fact that it is painful is the reason that it's working.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't you stepping out, everybody else that has to try and step out into this new life faces this same thing too. Every single person does. That's why most people don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what hard feels like, and this is why most people don't win. So continuing to push through and almost seeing that level of discomfort as a signal, it's like a way marker that's been planted in the ground. Yes, more this way. Because if it was all just super easy, well, how are you going to get anything different to what everybody else has got if you do the same thing that everybody else does?
Yeah.
And one of the best selectors for people not doing a thing is discomfort. So the route that has a lot of discomfort down it, usually on the other side of that, ends up with something which is valuable.
I think a hopeful message that anyone can think about who's in that hard period or in that start period is that it won't get harder. Like, this is the hardest part. And so if you can just make it through this, everything else is downhill. It's not that the things that the dragons are going to slay aren't going to get bigger, they are, but you become so much more equipped to slay them back.
Most people are just trying to get through the day. Here's what I want you to be committed to do. Learn to get from the day. Don't just get through it, get from it. Learn from it. Let the day teach you. Join the University of Life. What a difference that'll make in your future. Commit yourself to learning. Commit yourself to absorbing. Be like a sponge. Get it. Don't miss it.
You have to work every single day. I think that's where the confidence comes from. Because when nobody's looking, that's the time that really counts. That's the time that really matters. I know how much I train. I know how tired I've already made my body. This is nothing. The finished product is the easy part. The games, like, I can literally play in the games in my sleep. It's like the working out at 5, 6 a.m. and then and all the practices and all the extra conditioning, like that's the hard part. And so I can get through it. That work that you do every single day is key, because that's what you're gonna be able to fall back on.
If you laugh, you risk appearing to be a fool. If you weep, you risk appearing to be sentimental. If you reach out for another, you risk rejection. If you love, you risk not being loved in return. If you place your dreams in front of the crowd, you risk ridicule. If you go forward in the face of overwhelming odds, you risk failure. But risk must be taken, for the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. The person who risks nothing has nothing, does nothing is nothing. Well, in the world of ego is nothing. That person may avoid suffering, pain, and embarrassment, but that individual will not learn, love, change, feel, or grow. Only the person who takes risks is truly free.
We all live inside a bubble, right? This is our world. We go to this park over here. We usually go over here to, hang out with friends. This is our favorite club. This is our world. We all live in this bubble. What you gotta do, you gotta put more air in your bubble. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you gotta get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever wanna be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself.
You gotta get out there. You gotta give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. Because remember this, you will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse.
I said to myself, if ever I want anything to change, it's up to me. That's the time where I really got scared. It suddenly hit me right between the eyes that if I wanted my life to be different, it was up to me to make my life different. Starting point of flying to the stars, the starting point of taking complete charge of your life, the starting point of great success and great achievement is to accept complete, unconditional responsibility. If it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to you. Never complain, never explain. What that means is if you don't like the way things are, then it's up to you to change them. And if you're not willing to take steps to change them, then don't complain about them. So if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to you.
I failed, I go back to scratch. I use some positive motivation. I have like one day where I'm like defeated. But I started realizing this is part of the process. This is part of the journey. I had to realize this is part of my process versus just saying, like I used to, I'm just not good enough. If I'm not good enough, we always say that I'm just not good enough, and then we try something else. I'm gonna make myself good enough. And that became my mentality. I'm gonna make myself good enough.
My first 9 businesses didn't really amount to anything. 9. As in the first one, spent time, failed. Second one, this one will be different, failed. Third one, this is the one. And then 6 more after that, right? I'm just painting this picture because it's painful as because the whole time everyone is telling you, I told you so, and they're right. Today, but not forever.
Now is the time to take risk. You don't have kids. As you get older, your obligations increase. And once you have a family, you start taking risk not just for yourself, but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. Take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it.
The next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. Look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire, because just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Someday's not on there. So you got to say, okay, I want to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there, and then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
My 3 questions are, what do you want? How badly do you want it? And how much are you willing to suffer? And very often, everything revolves around the first question, what do you want? Because a lot of people are unclear what they want from life. They don't sit down and think through. We are writing our own life story every day, and yet we don't think about it. Who do we want to be? Where do we want to live? What life do we want to lead? When we've finished our life, come to the end of our life and look back, what do we want to say that we've done? So, what do you want is a very powerful question. If an athlete says, I want to be the best, Bill, fine. How badly do you want it? Because you've got to pay a price to be the best. The best pay a big price. You've got to work harder, you've got to commit more, you've got to take more responsibility, you've got to deal with more ups and downs. And if we can deal with that question, how much are you willing to suffer? Because I work with gold medal champions and they suffer every day. They work enormously hard. They sacrifice enormous things in order to get that success.
Real motherfuckers are obsessed with what they do. The people who win the biggest are obsessed. You cannot argue that. It might not be healthy, it might not be what most people want, it certainly isn't balanced, but it's the real story. Because I can tell you that anybody that wins at the highest level, that's how they operate. Thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs, and the best ones, the ones that win at the highest level, they are obsessed.
That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get to success. Success is something that's a very lonely path in this world, because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that future of success, the better life. Very few are. And when you get the success, what comes with that is many that love you, but the majority will hate you for it, because your success is a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunities, where they came up short, where they didn't quite have it inside and never went back to revisit it, where failure is what stood instead of improving failure for success. Failure is part of the recipe for success. You fail 1,000 times before you succeed. Every single person has. It's the losers that fail once and quit. Every winner has done failed. The loser and the winner both fail. It's just that the winner gets back up and does it again. Very lonely road success is. Know that going into it. But it's the only road that will lead to a life of remembrance.
Most people just they're not willing to get up that early or to make those sacrifices required. So it's a function of how badly do you want to change your life, and what are you willing to endure to craft that life that you aspire to have, or do you just want to talk about it?
Everywhere I look, I see fake work, pretend work, or pose work. I put in real work, hard work, and that's it. People pull out all the time, and people make excuses all the time, but I just get on with it, put in the work and reap the rewards, and that's it. That's why you see me with everything. I'm with complete control of this whole game.
Why? We all ask why we should work this hard. Why take that many classes? Why go to school that many years? Why take the notes? Why read the books? Why work that hard? Why put yourself through the push-ups and the disciplines? Why? Good question, why? Best answer to why, I think, is the second question. Why not? Why not see how many books you can read, how many classes you can take, how many skills you can develop? Why not see how valuable you can become to the marketplace and to your friends and to your family? Why not see what you can make of yourself? Why not see how far you can go, how much you can see, how much you can earn, how much you can share? Why not? That's the heritage all of us have, especially is to see what we can make out of our lives now that we've been given this extraordinary opportunity.
I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on, but I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. Fall forward. This is what I mean.
You have to understand, this next 5-year window is when you don't go practical and safe. This is not the time to get the job mom wanted you to. This is the time to realize that you have a 5-year window, and it's 3 for some, it's 8 for others, but this is a 5-year window for you to attack the life that you want to win.
Here's how to really cash in on this year. Number 1, get serious. Life is serious. We call it life or death. Somebody asked me one time if I had a good description of life. I said, yes, I think I've got a good one. Life is the struggle to keep death at a respectable distance. Serious. Life is serious. The future's serious. It's serious whether you win or lose. It's serious whether you succeed or fail. It's serious whether you've got a good future carved out for yourself or you do not have.
You learn nothing from success. Never. There's nothing to learn from success. You learn everything from failing. And fear of failing is what holds people back from doing anything. Yes. And when you don't try, and you wake up at 65 years old, you're a lot angrier than if you'd failed. You're a lot, it's really easy to be 65 years old and go, I tried to do that, just couldn't do it. You'll really be mad if you go, I think I could have done that, but I didn't try.
It's not on everybody else, it's on you. You have to make things happen. Nothing is going to be given to you. You cannot have any part of your mind that thinks, oh, someone will just do this for me. You cannot have that in your mind. You have to do things yourself. You have to create things. You have to make things happen. You have to do it yourself. No one's gonna give it to you. And this doesn't mean you have to take from someone else. You have to build for yourself.
It's easy to give up.
Hell yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do. All right, man, I'm done. I ain't going. I ain't gonna keep going. Yeah, I don't feel like going to work. I'm done. It's easy. It's very easy. But what's hard is going, yesterday I got nothing from working as hard as I could. Nothing happened from that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, but I'm gonna try to go harder. That's the hardest thing in the world. To get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
So my first wish is for you to find joy in work. Find work that gives you great joy, or just fall in love with whatever work you do. That's the only way you're going to do your best work. That's the only way you're going to do exquisite work. Instead of working for a living, think of it as your life's work. I wish for you to love your work as much as I've loved my work. My second wish for you is to learn to embrace failure. I've just said two contrarian words, work and failure. We've been taught all of our lives to not be a failure. So why am I standing here wishing you embrace failing? Avoiding failure is not the same as achieving success. In fact, finding failure is a discovery of sorts. It's a discovery of yet another way how not to do something. Failure is often on the path to success.
That's risky. The Englishman says, well, if that's the way it's going to work out, let's give it a go. Right, that's what it's for. Give it a go. Somebody says, yeah, but I'm looking for safety and security. Fine, then huddle in a corner. We'll cover you with a sheet, bring you 3 meals a day. And we'll protect you, feed you, look after you, care for you. We won't let anything happen to you. And you'll probably live to be 100. The guy said, well, yeah, I'd live to be 100. But what a way to live. Right. What a way to live, safe and secure. Don't ask for security. Ask for adventure. Better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years safe in the corner. And see, it's not important how long you live. What's important is how you live.
The longest time in the world is the hesitation between thought and action. It can actually be forever. You can hesitate for 1 second to get started on something. A workout, a project, a task, something that you know you should do. You can hesitate for 1 second. That 1 second of hesitation, all of a sudden it turns into 5 seconds, and then 10 seconds, and then 10 minutes. And then just like that, you drifted into the eternity zone. 1 second became an eternity because something that was gonna happen is now never gonna happen, ever. Why is that? Because you hesitated. So don't take that chance, instead take action. A body in motion tends to stay in motion, a body at rest tends to stay at rest. You've had enough damn rest.
You gotta get to the point in your life where you decide, I have had it. I'm tired of being a loser.
I got tired of losing. I got tired of coming up short. I got tired. I want to move to the nicest neighborhood. I want to fly first class. I want to go to Hawaii. I made a decision. Enough is enough. It's showtime. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. Humans do not transition to another level when they're comfortable with the level that they're on. You only go to another level when you say, enough is enough. I want you to live the life you were meant to live. You hear me? Not the life that was given to you. You deserve to see what your life would look like if you gave 120%. And what I need you to do is I need you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, come on, stop playing. I deserve to see what my life would look like if I gave 120%. That's lion mode, and you gotta get to a place where you start executing.
Making a freaking plan is the easy part, and you have to understand, if you don't execute on the plan, if you don't get up in the morning when you're feeling tired, scared, if you don't execute, you're not just cheating yourself, dude. You're cheating your family, you're cheating your employees, you're cheating your team, whatever you're a part of. It's bigger than you, man.
And guess what? I had to get up even though it was hard, and I had to take ownership of my life, take ownership of my time, take ownership of my day. And if those of you messed up, why? Because you don't understand think, act, eat, rest. We talking about a schedule. I realized that my strength is in my routine. Why? Because I'm not as strong as I thought I was. I'm not as intelligent as I thought I was. It's in my routine. It's what I do every day repeatedly. The DNA of your success is in your routine. You're not as deep as you think you are. You got a firm routine. I'm getting up at 3 and stick with it. I'm getting up at 5 and stick with it. Yeah, out of 365 days, we'll have a bad day or two, but I'm trying to tell you, the strength is in the routine. Find a routine and stick with it. No more dreaming. Dreaming is over. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your piecing together of your puzzle. Nobody gave me this. I earned it. Life wasn't a crystal stair for me. Didn't nobody give me a network. I earned a network. I worked my way to the NBA. I worked my way to the NFL. Everybody say, E, how did you crack the code? I grinded my way through the code. That's how I cracked it. I got up every day at 3. I don't care what the economy is doing. I don't care who the president is. Nobody helped me to get here. I had to get up. I had to go to class. I had to read. I had to study. I had to write. I understood that the dream is real, but the lifestyle is realer. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. Stay predictable. Stay consistent. And the reason why many of you are not getting it is because you're not consistent. You start and you stop. You get pumped up. You start strong, and then somewhere in the middle you quit. You have a little success, but you don't experience exponential growth because you're not consistent. You gotta be persistent. You gotta be locked in. You can't scoreboard watch. Too many of you scoreboard watching. Every time you do something, you're looking up to see the score. You stopping working to look at yourself. You're not grinding. You glaring. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. I'm challenging you to get from where you are. I'm challenging you to stop settling. I'm challenging you to stop accepting the life that was given to you. And I'm challenging you to give 120%. If you're going to do what you say you're going to do, be what you say you're going to be, you're going to have to lion me out. You a gazelle, you're going to come up short. You a gazelle, you're not always going to get what you want out of life. You a gazelle, you're going to have an average experience. You a student, I need you in lion mode. You a teacher, I need you in lion mode. You an entrepreneur, I need you in lion mode. You You try to lose weight, lion mode. You can't do nothing significant in gazelle mode. Nothing. Nothing impressive happens in gazelle mode. Nothing happens in run mode, give up mode, quit mode, scared mode, fearful mode. Nothing happens. Everything happens in lion mode like I'm coming to get you. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart. You focus on this, and tomorrow will take care of itself.
Are you gonna say you wanna do something, do it for 2 weeks and then quit? Like you did last year, like you did the year before last? You say you wanna lose weight, get in shape, get your business off the ground, and then turn around and party, drink alcohol, eat like crap, and continue to live below who you were created to be. How long is it gonna take to make the decision, to make the shift, and show some courage? It is time to go from mediocre to meteoric. It is time to go from being counted out to being counted on.
I've never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream, and you fully commit to it sooner or later, if you do not surrender, if you do not quit, it will happen.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think about it for 1 millisecond. When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction. It's a discipline, and it's life. And that's the way I choose to live my life.
Too tired, too hungry, too sore, too hot, too cold, too whatever. People ask me what I do when I get those little feelings running around. Well, let me tell you what I don't do. I don't tell everybody. As a matter of fact, I don't even let those words run around inside my own brain housing group. I keep it secure, lock it down.
To me, this is an everyday gig. Every day is a Monday, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. Today, I'm taking scalps. I'm putting the pressure on. I'm the aggressor. I'm on the attack.
It's a lifestyle. Instead of hitting that snooze button in the morning and not making your bed, you don't hit the snooze button. You get up. You don't want to go run? You go run. You don't want to go swim? You go swim. You don't want to make your bed? You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house? You clean your house. You don't want to study? You go and study. It's gonna suck. It's not gonna be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow.
The only thing you do for success is sweat, it's blood, it's tears. You think you're gonna get 50%? You think you're gonna get 70%? You think you're gonna get 80? There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking they are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. When you really want it, you no longer hit the snooze button. You no longer lose focus when you're studying. You no longer take shortcuts. You are willing to do whatever it takes. And that means getting up early, going to bed late. That means you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go when you're done. You might have put in some time, but you didn't put in the time. Yep, you did some workout. Yep, you studied a little bit. Yeah, you put in some time, but you ain't put in the time. The time that's required to make your dreams become a reality. You can't shortcut success. You gotta grind, and you gotta put in the time. If you had the qualities of fortitude, grit, discipline, mental toughness, you wouldn't need a program for your finances. You wouldn't need another fitness program. You would understand how to execute. The missing link is and always has been you. In order to be the best, in order to get to the next level, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta be willing to do whatever you're asked to do. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no discounts to success. It's always sweat. It's always blood. It's always tears. You always have to give all to be the best.
I'm not gonna sit around and wait for good things to happen to me. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do everything in my power to become the very best version of me.
When you do the things most people aren't willing to do, you will live the life most people never will.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 2 + 2 is going to equal 4. And 10 years of work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off.
I get frustrated with humans when somebody's late and they upset. I get frustrated with humans when somebody borrows money from you and they don't pay it back and you're upset. I get upset with humans when you go out to eat and they don't bring your food out the way you want your food out and you are so upset and you let them have it, but then you disappoint you and you don't let you have it. You give you a pass. You give you a pass. You are not where you're supposed to be financially and you gave yourself a pass. You know you better than that. You know you should be further in life, but you keep letting you slide. That thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
Your biggest enemy is you. People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
I need you to confront you because you're the one holding you up. I need you to confront you. I need you to look in the mirror and tell you, you are not gonna do me like this no more. You're not gonna continue to sabotage me. You're not. You're not gonna keep procrastinating. I need you. You're not.
You're not a loser. You've just made decisions that have created an environment that feels like it. Go look in the mirror. Take responsibility for where you are and admit to yourself that you are where you are because of decisions that you made, because of weakness that you had, because of your lack of ability to do the hard things when things got hard. That's why you are where you are. And start right now fixing that. Start making better decisions right now, and before you know it, you'll be living a different life.
The only person you can control is you. So focus on making yourself who you want to be. Discipline your body. Get up early and go. Get after it, and you'll become the person you want to be. And you become that person through one small decision at a time.
Become the person who cannot quit. Become the person who can say no to the things that they know they're supposed to say no to. Become the person who makes the right decision regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the hardships, regardless of the pain, regardless of the frustration. If you become that person, you have no limits in your life. There is no stopping that person.
You in 3 and you got 6 gears, but you're accustomed to 3, you're accustomed to 4. I challenge you to push it to all the gears you got. I want to see how far I can go. I want to see what I can accomplish. I want to see what I can do, what I can be, what I can have. I want to see. I don't want to see what I think I can do. I don't want to see what I think is possible. I want to see what my life would look like if I didn't count the cost, if I had the mentality that you gotta want it.
I'm going to try to be the best that I can be, the strongest, the fastest, the smartest human being that I can become. Better than I was yesterday. Better than people thought I could be. Better than I thought I could be.
When you cut this off, I want you to go look yourself in the mirror and I want you to vow. No more excuses. Like from this day forward, I'm not gonna be getting pumped up. I'm not just gonna be fired up. I'm about to start applying. Because listen to me very closely. The difference between people who talk about it and people who do it It's one simple word, application. They hear it, and they don't just hear it, they digest it, and when they digest it, boom, they do something with it. I don't need you to learn a lot of stuff this year. I don't need you to learn 40 things this year. If you can learn one thing, I'm talking about learn it. I'm talking about put it deep within. Not you hear it, not you read it, not you see it. If you can give me one principle a month that you own, that becomes a part of who you are, that changes how you think, that changes how you behave. If you can become an executor, if you can execute, you can do the unthinkable. You can make all your milestones become a reality if it stops being a hobby. You're doing it when you feel like it. You're doing it when you get time. You're doing it on your lunch break. You're not serious. You're not eating it. You're not eating it. You're not dreaming it. It's not haunting your dreams at night. I'm telling you right now, there are those of you are going to do the unthinkable if you can shut it down. You got to shut the TV down. You got to shut certain people down. You are minimizing right now, and you need to optimize.
This is going to be a full commitment to creating the kind of person that can make the right decision even when it's the last thing they want to do. When they're tired, when they're sore, when they're hungry, when they're stressed, when they're frustrated, when they're angry, when the world is crashing down on their shoulders, they will still make the right decision. Your only solution is to become that kind of a person. Start today, and in 365 days you will look back and you will say, that was the day. That was the day that everything changed. That was the day that my life changed. That was the day that my family changed. That was the day my community changed, my state changed, and my country changed. Because I changed. Make that day today.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, you know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're going to feel weak. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong, and it will inflict pain on you. The other outcome is when you do what you're supposed to do. You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong, and you're gonna feel gratified, and you're gonna feel worthy of this life.
Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life.
And most of you in this room, you can't give up 6 months. You can't give up 8 months. You can't let stuff go for a few weeks. Some of you can't just let girls go. Let it go. Some of you just can't let parties go. Let it go. If you want to dominate in the area, you gotta let everything go but that thing you're pursuing. You can't chase 2 rabbits and catch both of them.
The shortcut is a lie. The hack doesn't get you there. And if you want to take the easy road, it won't take you to where you want to be. There is no easy way. There is only hard work, late nights, early mornings, practice, rehearsal, repetition, study, sweat, blood, toil, frustration, and discipline. There is only one way. Get up and go.
You need to be the master of your emotions, not let them affect you.
Get control of your feelings. By getting control of your feelings, you gain control of your life. When you do this over and over and over again, you change your brain. You become tougher. You become the one who decides what gets done and the level of success you achieve.
Discipline is something you dictate. Motivation won't make you exercise every day. Discipline will. Motivation won't stay up late and finish a project for you. Discipline will. Motivation isn't going to get you out of bed in the morning. Discipline will. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future.
Some of you are not successful because you think effort is success. You think because you put in 40 hours that you're supposed to get some because you put in 40. It don't work like that in the school of hard knocks. They don't care how many hours you put. They just want to see the execution. So you feeling in your spirit like, yo, but I did just as much as he did. I studied just as much as he studied. It doesn't matter. You just gotta execute.
You gotta get a little bit more intense about your life. You gotta stop being so casual. It's decisions we make to chase that best version of us every second, every day, because every day alters the direction, the course of our lives.
We are losing control. And it's time to take control. You held up your someday. And here's the crazy part. All you gotta do is look in the mirror. All you gotta do is deal with yourself, and then we're gonna get to a whole other level. At some point, you gotta tell the flesh who's in control. I'm in control. You're not in control? I know you don't wanna wake up. You don't have an option. Get up. There's a certain lifestyle we want. You need to discipline yourself. You need to learn to tell you no. You need to learn to tell you stop. You need to learn to tell you quit. Every single day, if you do what you say you're gonna do, you're gonna get what you dream to get. Some days you wake up, you in the mood. Some days you're not in the mood. A calendar does not care if it's your birthday, if it's a holiday, if you're not feeling good. A calendar does not care. A schedule does not care. So what happens is when you're consistent and you do something every day, you do it over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. More stuff comes to you when you execute, son. Execution, baby. We will do it by listing our priorities. We will do it by shutting everything else out. We will do it by saying no to everything that does not apply to our priority. We will do it by getting focused, laser focused. This will be the year that you stop half doing stuff. You stop half doing sports, half doing school, half writing that book. This will be the year of execution. And we'll do it one day at a time. And you're gonna get control. And when you get control of that one area, you're gonna blow up in every area, and then someday gonna be your day. If you work for it, if you're willing to put in that sweat, that blood, and those tears, I'm telling you, you can have what you want, be what you want, do what you want, and there ain't nothing you can't have if you're willing to work for it. If you're willing to stick in there, if you're willing to stay, if you're willing to fight, it ain't nothing you can't have.
Discipline your body, free your mind, get up early and go. Get after it, and you will become the person you want to be.
Rewards come after you work, not before. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Download this video and audio by becoming a member at benlionelscott.com. Plus, get early access to all new content and hundreds of exclusive videos.
One more set. We're gonna call it. I'm taking a fucking hot ass Epsom salt bath tonight.
Did you know that our food system is
Many dreams die while suffering. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most.
Life is going to beat you upside your head. Before you blow up, life will strip you to the core.
What makes you get up when you fall down? What makes your mentality change if there's a great situation or there's a bad situation? How do you dictate that based off the level of pain?
I need you to evaluate yourself and ask yourself the question, how are you wired? When you have a trial or a tribulation, how are you wired? Does it break you? Your problem is your pain has identified you. Your pain has destroyed you.
All of us will hit the wall. That wall shocked some people. That wall knocked the life out of some people. It didn't work out for them. They hit the wall and they turned around. But there's some small number. They decide, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be over there. This kind of person refuses to be denied.
I'm wired differently. I get excited about no. I love no. I love it. It turns me on. No, Eric, I'll be back.
I'll be stronger when I come back.
This person doesn't care about the pain because this person knows something. There's no gain without pain. So this person comes back anyhow, again and again. And if you keep on hitting that wall, here's what happens to you. You will have an incredible breakthrough. And it's as if the universe says, let's help him out. I admire that kind of tenacity. Let's give her a hand. Let's send her assistance, send her resources.
Please fucking do.
Out of nowhere, as your working comes with tears falling down your face.
I've given my fucking soul. I've given my entire heart for this.
When your mind knows it's not going to quit, your body will adapt to whatever is in front of it. What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're fucked up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna make it and still be able to make it because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no, but you still have the conviction that I know I can do this.
When you get knocked down, and you're going to get knocked down, when you run into some roadblocks and you're going to run into them, you can always be able to bring yourself back in, knowing if someone has done it, it's possible that I can do it.
Some of you have been knocked out by life, and you got up and saw the blood. He hit me. Sometimes in life, you have to hit back. You got knocked on the ground. You had absolutely nothing to do with that, and I'm not blaming you for that. But if I come back a week later, you still on the ground. If I come back a year later, you still on the ground, that's your fault. If you get knocked down, there's nothing you can do about it. But getting back up has every single thing to do with you. And you will promise me that from this day forward, you will not be defeated. I just love myself enough not to be trapped in the same doggone spot for the rest of my life. I love myself too much.
Chat. Stay blessed. Don't stress. We weren't born to just impress. Be you wholeheartedly. Unapologetically chase your dreams, chase your goals. Don't just chase a paycheck. And better yet,
And the problem with you not recycled your pain. You're still living on talent.
don't even just chase them.
Average people live on talents. Phenomenal people live off
Catch them.
Recycle your pain. Get something
And don't listen to the haters, my mans. They're secretly your biggest fans. Trust the process. Stay clear. Naysayers are everywhere. Persevere. Namaste.
When you get knocked down on the canvas, when everything falls apart in your life and your plans stop, what the f are you gonna do? There's only one motherfucking option. Stay fucking hard.
And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me.
They did. They couldn't.
I'm wired differently. I didn't start crying. I didn't say, why me? I'm doing good to the world. I'm not hurting anybody. Why me? I'm wired differently. I can. I will. I must. We turn tragedy.
I'm the greatest. One of the greatest ever to exist.
The difference with the circumstances is lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt.
God
That's
bless
what
you.